Welcome to Rauta's Underground Trio episode, and once again we have three different albums from three different countries and three different genres. We have a kind of a doomish metal with sludge and all that stuff. We have traditional melodic black death metal, and then we have one non-metallic act, which is dark ambient. As always with the Underground Trio episodes, we'll go from worst to best according to my own opinion, and that is not debatable. But feel free to pick up the ones that you like the most, and of course go with them. Don't care about my opinions, they're my opinions only and not about anybody else's. First we go to Norway with a band called Dwaal with Never Enough album. Now this is a relatively unknown band, but not exactly a new band anymore. And their combination is some kind of a doom meets sludge meets post-metal meets I don't know what else. Extreme metal in a very, very sludgy sense. And here I have the promo copy, just a booklet, thin one, and CD, no backside inlay or whatever. But that is enough there to know. This band actually features quite a few members, six if I recall correctly. And there are keyboards on top of everything else, which explains why so many people are involved. Now there are growly vocals, which give you kind of a death metallic take. There is a slow tempo, which takes you definitely on the territory of doom, but the way it's more executed, it's more like very sludgy. Sounds confusing, yes. Add on top of that a lot of post-metal elements, and then you have quite a mix. It's kind of a cross-kitchen experience in a way. Now, for a lot of people, this might be very, very fantastic news because it's just kind of an all-arounder, which caters you to many kind of needs. Good news for everybody who loves that kind of a variety, diversion, and what have you. But those who want more focused things, say, just stick to the death doom, or maybe go to the kind of a sludge kind of a doomy ways. But there is more than that. But if I would have to say some kind of a dominating element, I guess sludge post-metal would be roughly what you're looking for when you're listening to Dwaal. That being said, I didn't enjoy this in particular. I mean, it's kind of easy to, listen to, but then again, it's a little bit all-arounder without those lows and highs and all that stuff, which means to the very point. This album is not exactly very memorable. None of these songs really stick. It's more like a heavy, and because of growly metal, kind of a death metallic, but when it comes to the songwriting, I find it a little bit dull, to be honest. It's not bad, but beyond mediocrity, not much really to tell, I'm afraid. But those who want something else, go for it. Then we have a kind of a big step up with a band called Avdagata. This one is from Sweden called the Faceless One. It's the, if I remember correctly, debut album and released by At Dawn Records. The previous one was, by the way, Dark Essence. Forgot to mention that. This was something that I was handed at Beyond the Gates Festival in Norway. August, and I didn't really have anything to expect because a lot of new bands come and go and they don't really they don't really leave me with a lasting impact. I'm lost for words here. And this guy here in the photo was having a tattoo. We ended up having a little bit of conversation, and he was like, hey, here's a review album. Whenever I get that from a relatively unknown band, I'm almost like, okay, probably something not too good, because a lot of bands take the first few steps just fooling around, and then they're like, okay, let's actually focus on the songwriting, make it good. Well, this is good straight from the beginning. The style is melodic death and black metal. We'd focus more on the black metal side of things, but these vocals by the growly man here, they're definitely more on the death metal side. And if there's one band this in particular reminds me of, it's Unanimated from Sweden, a classic band from the 90s which actually really did a nice job already in the mid-90s with their death black combination. Now, this is nothing really, really original. I mean, you have all the basic ingredients there. Certain melodies, growlier vocals, black metal in the mix when it comes to the riffs and, well, overall soundscape, production and all that stuff. Everything is nicely played. I actually bumped accidentally to the information that it seems the current Dark Funeral drummer is doing the drums here, and he does a great job. And the guitar riffs, I mean, they're not maybe the most innovative out there, but they're good to listen. This is something that flows nicely. I think that's the very, very much the most describing word I can use here. Flowing nicely, giving still strong feeling of proper black and death metal being executed. And coming from Sweden, it's kind of a guaranteed. I mean, if you're not allergic to Swedish extreme metal, be it death metal, be it black metal, not to mention melodic metal in general, this is definitely up your alley. So check out the link provided and check out the music. Of course, same goes for Dwaal if you like the music. Don't mean to disrespect. However, the best on the pile, barely, but still, is the one called The Suspended Apparition, with a very ominous title, It's Sealed Inside the Church. Now, I'm a person who is not actually believing in the supernatural, but I kind of want to. And when I see interesting titles and interesting name and there's music to support that, for example, this released by Misanthropia Records, I am already like, okay, let's get in. So this is a church and you have the sealed door. What could go wrong? This is all about supernatural, weird sounds and din din din. Is it a poltergeist? Is it a ghost? Is it something very, very creepy? Spectral beings, weird creatures, ghosts. Who knows? But maybe there is actually something, and I'm getting the kind of a good creepy feeling out of this. Now, this music is dark ambient that supports totally this kind of stuff. Unexplained sounds and feelings and what have you. Especially if you go to old buildings, say those mansions that one upon a time were filled with people who either mysteriously vanished or died. Maybe there was a murder. Who knows? Anyway, this is a kind of a perfect soundtrack for that. Expect haunting sounds, sometimes keyboards, mumbling spoken parts, and some synthesizer pressings, keyboard pressing, where it's kind of like humming noise and it just fills the air with the kind of a gloomy, weird feeling. Now, those who are not very prone to have this kind of a feeling probably find this album dull. But me, as a big dark ambient fan, I really like how the album is executed because it gives you this dark, honest, sinister feeling throughout the album. And it gives me the feeling like maybe I should go to the church, maybe to see these ghastly creatures, these specters. Maybe I would die while trying, but I don't know. I'm the kind of a curious soul who sometimes goes to weird dark places only to find nothing there. Maybe I'm too skeptic. I don't know. But this album is good and that should be enough. And if you are really prone to getting those weird vibes and feeling the supernatural, even more so a reason for you to check with this one out. Expect dark ambient, the haunting style, dark style, and all that stuff. So, 3 different albums for 3 different tastes. Black death metal, the melodic kind, post-metal, sludge, doom, death, and then some dark ambient. Figure out which one are your cup of tea. You will find links provided in the description box. Now off you go to enjoy some good music, and if you don't like it, you can't tell you haven't been warned. Oh, whatever. See ya. Bye-bye.